Welcome to Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, the wildest mixed tag team in podcasting, where the kayfabe drops and the chaos takes over. Let's ring the damn bell.
Headlocks tight, heels on the prowl, dropping elbows, hearing growl, feel the foul. No script here, just real, no bluff. Kayfabe crack, now the dirt gets rough. Headlocks, heels, havoc in the zone. Step in the ring, chaos at your home. No filters, no mask, just raw pants on. Wrestling unscripted, we on the throne. Title bells, mic checks, crowd going crazy. Drop truth bombs, leaving lines feeling hazy. Beyond the kayfabe, past the charade, where legends are born and stories get made. Headlocks popping, who's hitting the mat? Welcome to the Havoc, where the real talk's at. Tune in, step through, leave the fake at the door. Headlocks, heels, havoc, now hear the roar.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am one half of the greatest tag team in podcasting, the legend J-Mac. With me, as always, is, of course, everybody's favorite uncle and my favorite tag team partner, Uncle Slam.
What's up, family?
And as everybody can tell, today we've got a special guest, the man with the plan, the wrestling encyclopedia himself, Sean John.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
How's everybody doing?
I'm feeling a little left out because I'm not wearing shades. I feel a little naked without them, but
just do
mine
like
are
this.
in my car, not leaving.
Just do like this and split your fingers, you know.
We'll have to figure out a way to do some virtual or Photoshop some glasses on you or something.
Get him some green screen glasses up there.
Yeah.
Nah, everybody's week been doing all right and everything.
Yeah,
So far, so
yeah.
good.
Been a whole lot of fallout from the wrestling world. I know that much. Miss Keita, she is here as usual. We thank you, Keita. Always loyal, always here. And we appreciate it. We love you.
Yeah.
Yes. This is Sean John, Miss Keita. If you don't know, now you know. As the Red Dog would say, if you didn't know, well, yeah, you better call somebody. Well, before we get into our normal recap show and everything, I want to give a minute to Mr. Sean John here, because the last time we had him on the show, he was part of another podcast, and I don't think you had started your ring announcing yet, or if you had, you had just gotten into it.
Just gotten into it. Probably about it would have probably been my second or third time ring announcing.
Okay. But yeah, like I said, we're going to put a little spotlight on you, you know, give us a little insight and everything, you know, about, you know, what made you decide to jump into ring announcing, and, you know, why not, you know, jumping into I can't say that either, because I watched you in a battle royal too. So I can't say you didn't jump in the ring, because you did do that.
Yes. Well, for those that don't know me, for those that do, you know, like everybody here, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. And, but when I moved down here to Kentucky, I got into the business. I wanted to do something. I wanted to help out, even if it meant setting up rings, passing out flyers, holding the signs that direct, you know, wrestling, come here, turn here, putting the signs on the end of the road. I did that all the time. And J.R. Rock, he was a promoter at the time. He's since decided to step away, but he brought the former podcast that I used to be on, but I'm not with them anymore, the Nice Guy Indie Podcast. I'm not with them, and you know, J-Mac, you and I, we talked before we went live, but, you know, I'm not with them anymore, and I wish them nothing but success and happiness. I will not badmouth them, and I'm not saying you're asking me to, because I know you're not. You guys are awesome. But the Kentucky Wrestling Federation, based out of Frankfort, Kentucky, will July 5th is their comeback show, so be sure we'll be sharing more information as they come. J.R. Rock had the podcast do some ring announcing. It was going to be at a special show, but not everybody could make it. I was there because I'm usually, how it goes, one of the first ones there, one of the last ones to leave. So they said, you're going to be ring announcing this match. And then like 5 minutes later, as they say, card subject to change, he said, okay, we're going to, when this little mini angle is, you're going to introduce one wrestler, then you're get, kicked out of the ring, not like physically, just get told leave, and then he do it, and then you do the second match, and then we do it from there. I did that. There's videos somewhere floating around of me doing that and having the crowd eating out of the palm of my hand. That was my very first time ring announcing. I'm not much of a in front of crowds. Like when I was on the other podcast, I would do a thing, but that's like sitting behind the mic talking trash like we always do. I did that. I was nervous, taking a deep breath and stuff. But the second they put that microphone in my hand, I turned to a different person. It's like it was my calling or something. If you're into divine intervention or whatever, that's what it felt like, my calling. Like I was getting the crowd into it. And then he goes, okay, you're going to do that. And then we also got Nina Darling, who does EWA. She does a fantastic job.
Yep.
Shout out to Nina Darling. She's my tag team announcing bestie. That's what we call it. We started out one show. She did the first half of the show, and then I finished out the show ring announcing. Then the next month, it was just me ring announcing. Then the next month, her. But the month she was ring announcing is when I was able to get into the ring for a battle royal. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
I watched the video. I was like, man, I want to be in that ring so bad. It's not even funny. I just want to do it one time. But no, it's amazing how that happens. How it could be, you could be just to use an example. I was watching an interview the other day with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and Shawn was talking about how when the Heartbreak Kid stuff, when Kurt Hennig said it on TV, and he ended up using it in a promo a couple of weeks later, and like when he said it, it was like, oh, okay, well, I got to come out here and be cool, and like Shawn was like, there's nothing cool about me. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm the biggest dork in the world, but you get me in front of that camera and I'll be, the sex idol. I'll be the cool guy, or I'll be the Heartbreak Kid. Yeah. I know Keita said sexy boy. That's right, Keita. But,
she's talking about Michael, not me, but hey, you never know.
Right. Keita, we need you to clarify. Are you talking about Sean or Sean?
Either way, cool.
Right. Pick your Sean. But no, it's amazing how that happens. How you just slide into something and it seems to fit like a glove. There's no hesitation or anything like that when, like you said, normally getting in front of a crowd or something, that wouldn't be, she said, you already know. Sean, I think it's Sean John. What do y'all think? We need extra comments.
That's fine, Miss Keita. We love that.
But yeah, it's amazing, man. I am so glad that you are getting to live out, things that you love doing. Because like you said, we're all diehard, lifelong fans. And, just being this close to the business as a podcaster has, done opened a lot of doors and just, let me live a lot of things that I never thought I was going to get to do and stuff like that. And I'm sure Uncle Slam can say the same thing and vouch for that too. And
it's just learned so much, man. Like it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just the education alone, not even necessarily the experience, the education that I've learned about stuff, like I didn't know about, certain things of wrestling. It's amazing though, but I'm really happy for you, man, that you are getting to do that. And, getting ready,
Yeah.
getting to put yourself out there, and so go to KWF, everybody, and when you see this man get in the ring, start yelling for him. Start, yell for him just as much as you do the wrestlers that come out, because this man's a good guy.
Hey, you can boo me if you want to. That's fine by me. Hey, as long as you make some kind of reaction towards me, I'm happy. You don't have to.
That is exactly it.
If you're not watching SmackDown, little spoiler alert: Ricky Saints, aka Ricky Starks, made his debut on SmackDown tonight. He's in the ring against Cody.
Oh,
Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's a big start off too against Cody.
I don't know what they're saying. I got it on mute to pay attention to hear. But
Right. I know Akita said, "Stop playing with me."
if they don't play with you, it means they don't like you.
That's exactly it. Well, we are going to get into this and start talking about some of these because I got a lot of stuff to talk. Well, I don't have as much stuff as I thought I did, but enough to fill up an episode. But as usual, we always start off with some lighthearted stuff and everything, and I figured I'd start off with this. It is an era versus era wrestling thing. They got Stone Cold, of course, versus Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper versus The Rock, Randy Savage versus Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental title, the Hart Foundation versus DX, and the Hart Foundation being Jim, Owen, and Brett, and DX being Triple H, Billy Gunn, and Road Dogg. Ricky Steamboat versus Kurt Angle, Demolition versus the Brothers of Destruction, Jake Roberts versus Mankind, and the Rockers versus the Hardy Boys. What do y'all think about this? Would this be a fantasy lineup or not? I'm like,
oh hell yeah! I mean, what's not to like about it and shit? To be honest.
What would your one match be if you could pull one match off of here? And it don't necessarily have to be the Hulk versus Austin, because everybody wanted to see that anyways. Yeah. But if you could, besides that match, what's your one match on here that you think you would want to pull off to see? We'll start with you, Sean.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's Ricky Steamboat versus Kurt Angle.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
one of the greatest technical masters of the ring, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And when it comes to technical mastery, Kurt Angle is no slouch in himself. Because as we all know, Kurt Angle did win a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
That's right.
It's not like I ever mentioned it before.
And he is a sexy Kurt, and he will make your ankle hurt.
Is this Kurt Angle before he adapted the ankle lock?
He's got hair.
He's got hair because he grabbed the ankle lock in 2001, shortly before he dropped the title, his first WWF title to The Rock in 2000. See, that's more of my wrestling encyclopedia that's coming through.
Man, he's got a better memory than I do, because I didn't remember that.
Dude,
I remember it happening, but I don't remember when it was. I couldn't tell you what year. That's why he's the encyclopedia, ladies and gentlemen. I may be a legend, but he's the encyclopedia.
No, I can't remember what I did yesterday. What are you talking about?
So which match you got on there?
Slam? Walk into the kitchen, forget why I'm going in there.
I think we all do once you get a certain age.
Yeah.
If I'm going to pick, I'm probably going to go with, and you probably already know, it's probably going to be the Hart Foundation plus versus DX.
Yeah. Sean, Triple H.
Road Dogg, Triple H. Brett, of course, you know what I'm saying? Jim the Anvil, and who was the third member? The British Bulldog or Owen? Owen. Oh, hell yeah.
It was Owen, Brett, and Jim versus Triple H, Billy Gunn, and Road Dogg.
Oh yeah. Definitely that one.
Now, who would there? That's going to be the question.
I think the second match, if I had to pick, and I know it's I'm good. Yes, I'm going to be a little biased, but I was really intrigued by that Hardy Boys versus Rockers. I think that could have been a really good match too. I mean, they all could have been really good matches, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I would have really liked that Randy versus Chris Jericho too.
I mean, that was gonna be my second pick right there.
It's a good lineup in any way you go. I mean, for a
that actually would.
What was that, Sean?
Savage versus Jericho. That would be a good match.
Yes, it would. Savage is somebody that, yes, I think a lot of his matches were kind of rinse and repeat, but I think a lot of people's back then were. You know what I'm saying? They found their style, their working style, and they went with it,
Yeah.
But and even today that happens. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does their same spots. But it was like, I don't think Savage gets as much credit for being as good of a wrestler as he was.
I think he's more known for the personality than he is probably for his wrestling like he should. Because everybody knows he's a wrestler, but when you think of Savage, you think of the voice, you think of the character, and unfortunately the wrestling comes second, which he was a great wrestler, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What
I agree.
Savage always had to have every single spot, no matter how trivial, laid out. That's why his match at WrestleMania 3 versus Ricky Steamboat, all-time class. It wasn't meant to be the best match on the card. That was Hogan and Andre. But that's the match that everybody went home talking about.
Yep.
The Steamboat
Hogan Andre
Savage
was the attraction.
Yeah, that was so-called the greatest match, but I'm like, well, some argument could be made.
Right. I 100% agree. Yes. And to me, that's what's great about wrestling too, is like, that's the reason why you want to watch every match on a card, is because you may have, that Andre Hogan match is what brought everybody to the Silverdome.
Yeah.
But it was, like you said, it was Ricky and Savage that they went home talking about. So, I mean, yeah.
100%.
So in that same style. Go ahead.
Yeah. What happened afterwards really wasn't that great of a run for Steamboat. It was the win, and then what else you got? Because he lost the title a few months later to the Honky Tonk Man, who actually went on to have, up until a couple of years ago, the longest Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship reign of all time.
Yep. And, I didn't like Honky Tonk Man back then, but looking back on it, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Like, I remember where I was living whenever I seen that the Honky Tonk Man beat Ricky Steamboat, because I was so excited that Ricky Steamboat had won that title. But because I remember the story with him and Savage, where he had crushed his larynx, will he ever be able to wrestle again and all that stuff and everything. And then he won it. I was so excited. And then he lost it so quick. I was like, what is going on? And then I just didn't see Ricky Steamboat anymore because he went to the NWA. And well, that's another story for another day. But in that same, mold, I found another one here. It says, if you can watch one match from these, which one would it be? You've got the Missing Link versus George the Animal Steel, Bruno Sammartino versus Ric Flair, Nikita Koloff versus Bruiser Brody, Abdullah the Butcher versus Cactus Jack, Tully Blanchard versus Rick Rude, and the Great Muta versus Chris Benoit. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to go ahead and start this. I got to go Benoit and Muta.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem
with that. I'm something that Tully Blanchard Rick Rude match is calling my name. It's like drawing me in.
See, me too. That's what like I was gonna be. My first choice was gonna be Cactus Jack, but then I'll do the Butcher. I don't think that's a good matchup. But Rick Rude and Tully Blanchard, I think that
Well, here's the thing with that. I know there were times where they each played a babyface. Rick Rude, towards the end of his active run in WCW, he was starting to become a babyface, but then he hurt his back.
That was so weird.
Because I thought he was always a heel, though. Like, because I never remember Rude ever being a babyface. I thought he was always like
just starting to turn him into WCW, starting to turn him into a babyface to take on Vader in '94. But then Rick Rude in Japan hurt his back, and that ended his career. Mayhem Media, what's up, fellas?
Yes.
What's up?
Appreciate y'all being here.
I don't think first seen him as a babyface. Always he's one of those snarky heels. Him and the Perfect 10 Baby Doll. Oh man,
right. And that's me. Totally to me was always like a. And I don't want to say it this way because it sounds so degrading, but to me he was always kind of like a mid card to lower mid card Ric Flair. Not saying that Tully couldn't have main evented. I think Tully Blanchard could have been a main event world title guy eventually. I don't think that I think that the Horseman thing kind of held him from that. But who cares? Everybody was making money. You know what I mean?
All they cared about.
That's it. And I mean, we got all the titles, we got all the money, so that's all that matters in the long run. That's it. All righty, on to the next one. I believe I've got another one similar to that. I don't know. I ran across a few of these this week. Oh, yeah, this one is who should be world champion first? Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, LA Knight, Trick Williams. I think we all can probably agree. Well, I know who I'm going to pick. Mine's LA Knight.
Yeah. I mean, we probably talked about this way too much, to be honest, and shit, just because we feel like there's too much politics going on in WWE or whatever the hell's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's already over, he's been over with the fans. I mean, he's been right there and they just seem to take it from him every time he gets close. I don't know if it's just Triple H or if it's TKO or what, but
if you saw the latest season of Unreal and he's getting chewed out because he was half a step off, shut up. Still a good match.
That's it.
But Braun will get it before Braun Breaker.
I think that too.
See, I think Braun would have got it if he hadn't got injured and shit because he was on that pace, with the whole Seth, before Seth got hurt too. Obviously, everybody got hurt in the division.
I think so.
But I think they were setting that up for him to actually take that title from him.
From what I heard, WrestleMania, if I don't get this mixed up, WrestleMania was supposed to be Cody and Seth and Braun and CM Punk. It was what it was supposed to be. And then, of course, that got all jacked up and everything.
Yeah.
What do you say, Superfly?
What up, Johnny?
What's up?
But yeah, I agree with you too. The 1, 2, and 3 are no doubt, barring injury, they are 3 of the future of the WWE.
Yeah.
I mean,
see the reaction when Trick won the U.S. title?
Yes.
Yeah, the fans love him. I mean, they really do. I mean, he gets a hell of a pop every time his music comes on and shit. I don't know if it's the music or what, but they love his ass.
Whoop that Trick.
With the lemon pepper steppers.
Right. My only problem with him at WrestleMania was why did he walk with 500 yards of toilet paper stuck to his tights coming out to that ring?
It was the longest, I think, fur coat in history or some shit like that.
He stopped at CVS and bought a Coke and a Snickers bar, and that was his receipt.
It could be. Because they're that
And then
damn long too. Shit.
and then the dude that was walking in with him, he looked like he was wearing a diaper. I was like, what is going on here, man? This is not what I tuned in for.
But
This is the
see how long
weirdest.
he probably wasn't going to be able to make it. So it's like, well,
Right.
oh, damn.
I can't, man. That walkway's too long, man. I better just wear a diaper out there.
Little Yachty.
right.
I'm just messing with you.
Right. All righty. Yeah, I seen another one. Okay. So who do you all think had the better choke slam out of these four people? That is, I believe that's Lance Archer with the heart, of course, Kane, the Big Show, and the Undertaker. Who do you all think had the best choke slam?
The Big Show, Kane, Undertaker, and then what's the last one?
Lance Archer from AEW.
Yeah,
I keep getting AEW and EWA mixed up. I say them backwards to each other all the time.
Yeah.
See, I don't know much about him, so I can't really say much on him. So that's mine down.
He used to be in TNA as Lance Hoyt.
Yeah.
And then he was even for a brief spell as Vance Archer.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was on that when they brought in ECW, and it was their developmental before it went to NXT.
So they basically took 5 minutes on his name. They were like, oh, look, instead of Lance, we'll call you Vance. Somebody was a real big fan of the alternate Dukes of Hazzard.
The alternate.
Because that should have never happened. Let's see. What did Mayhem Media said? Lance Archer's chokeslam looks very close to Kane's.
Yes, he does.
He said my answer is Undertaker, but he said I know Lance. He said I know Lance Archer.
Oh, nice. Out of just this picture, Big Show, but it's kind of thing. Changes that. I gotta go with Taker. Nothing wrong with Kane's, but his seems more safer. Up down, chokeslam, bam. Taker looks, if he really, and if you were agile enough, he'd get you up there and he'd hold you.
Yep.
Big Show, you had to be in a mood if he was going to let you down softly or just you up.
Yep. I agree.
I don't watch AEW. I haven't watched it in over a year and a half, so I couldn't tell you what's going on. I do know that, Darby Allin is their champion right now. Congratulations. Though I have said Darby Allin is a cross of 3 wrestlers. He is Sting, Jeff Hardy, and Spike Dudley all rolled into one.
Really?
That's now my interpretation of Darby Allin.
Now I'm going to have to really look at him and everything. I'm going to have to go watch a couple matches and analyze this now that I've got these 3 names to look after.
Yeah.
But see, I love that too. But and that's the thing. I love it, that people, they hybrid themselves off of old wrestlers. But getting back to this picture, Uncle Slam, whose slam do you have? Or whose do you have?
The picture's kind of a little misleading. Like if I'm looking at the picture, then I would probably say the Big Show. But if I'm going for personal experience, I'm going to go with the Taker just because his just seems more fluid. Like I've seen him do it 1,000 times. I have nothing against Kane's or Big Show. Big Show's always seemed a little stiff. Like even though he seemed like his should be more easier just because he's such a massive guy and shit. And he's got hands like fucking baseball mitts or whatever. But yeah, Taker easily.
I'm gonna go with Taker just because of the height he always got, like we were talking about, and the fact that it was with the Big Show's like we were talking about with last week with Ron Simmons' Spine Buster and Arn Anderson's Spine Buster.
Yeah.
Yes, they were both spine busters, but they were two totally different moves.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Big Show's was like he was taking you up, and even with his weight and power, he was driving you through that mat.
Yeah.
Undertaker's was just that big, you're going to fall from a big height, and that's your impact, is I'm going to let gravity do the job for me with mine. But Big Show's is just like you got mass times gravity and ring and everything hurts. And but yeah, just a goofy little thing. That's all. Go ahead.
I'm going to weigh in on the Spine Buster right quick. Arn, business, I'm going to win the match. Hit Spine Buster. Ron, you must have owed him money or something if he daily didn't like it. You would hit the ground. You would be on the ground before your feet left it.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was kind of like pushing you down. As Arn was laying you down, Ron was more like, I'm going to shove your ass down and, help you get there a little faster.
Yeah.
Everybody had, if you didn't tuck your chin for Ron Simmons,
that was on you.
Yeah, it was on you. If you go home with a concussion that night, that one's on you. It has nothing to do with Ron Simmons. You knew
but
it
if
was
you
coming.
didn't want to get up, Ron would get you up there. He didn't sweat it. Like when he hit that power slam on, like, not just Vader, but anybody, he hit that power slam. He almost dropped you.
Yes.
Spinning you over.
I think that's why I was always like a huge Ron Simmons fan. Like, I always wanted him to get beat when he was with Doom, but that's because he was doing his job. But when he split up from Doom and they repackaged him as like the former Florida State Seminole, the All-American Ron Simmons, man, I was all over Ron Simmons. Like, I would honestly and truthfully say that other than Sting at that time, Ron Simmons and Barry Windham were probably my two other favorites in WCW at that time. And there was just something about when he won that world title. I was so mad that his reign didn't last longer, but I was so happy that he wanted the way, and you could tell he respected it. He respected the business, the way when he won that title and got up, and his celebration wasn't, yay, I won the world title like everybody else. His was, I've done something.
Yeah.
Yes. It was not a makeshift. It was not a storyline. It was, I am a world champion. And I am the first black world champion, which was another amazing feat. And I think that's another reason why I've always really respected Ron Simmons. I hated that once they got done with that stupid gladiator crap, that they kept him as the name Farouk. I think out of respect, they should have let him go back to being Ron Simmons and Bradshaw and Ron Simmons. Man, those two names terrify me. You tell me they're coming down to the ring at me.
Yeah, when WWE split them up at the 2002 draft, he was Farouk, and then they just randomly said, okay, Ron Simmons against this. And Bradshaw went back to being the cowboy gimmick that he came in with.
Yep.
They were just like, clothesline deep in the heart of Texas. I'm like, no, what's the clothesline from hell?
Okay, so I got a question for you. With the cowboy gimmick, which one, and this is for both of you, which one did you all like better? Did you all like his Blackjack Bradshaw better when he was part of the new Blackjacks, or did you like him as Justin Hawk Bradshaw?
I liked him more as a businessman and shit. Like, I thought he was.
So JBL, you like the JBL character, the rich tycoon, oil tycoon type. Yeah,
I think he was more interesting than
when he first came in as JBL. I pictured J.R. Ewing from the show Dallas. Because that's even what his music sounded like. I was like, oh, good. It's just John Bradshaw Layfield. But that was play on his real life thing as a stock person.
Yeah, he's apparently really good at playing the stock market and stuff. That's where he's made a lot of his money, from what
Oh,
I've heard.
really? See, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
big
Oh.
into stocks. I think
Yeah,
what was it before he retired? Yeah, before he retired, he had already made like 4 or 5 million off the stock market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's living in Bermuda now. Lucky bastard.
You sure he's not living in the Baja with Jesse Ventura?
But no, and also I liked him as Justin Hawk Bradshaw when he came in, but then I heard somebody say he's just Stan Hansen light. I said, Stan Hansen's a tough son.
Yeah, I mean, if you can even get close to being Stan Hansen, you've probably done something good with a career, you know. That's crazy. Sean, I was going to say, you will have to come on too, because we are planning a show in October around Halloween, and we all have to come dressed up as a wrestler. And I've already decided I'm coming as Jesse Ventura. And I'm going to talk like this all night long and tell you about how I was a U.S. Navy SEAL. That's terrible.
Speaking of, did y'all get see the Hogan
yes.
documentary on yet?
Yes.
I haven't watched it yet. No.
Hogan retiring? Bullshit. I'm like, Jesse.
Yes. Yes. But you know what? I was glad to see that at least at the end of it, he was, and you'll see this too, Uncle Sam. So I won't go into too much of it. I want you to be able to watch it and enjoy it. But at the end of it, he was at least able to give Hogan his flowers and his due for all the bad blood that there was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was nice to see. At least, you know.
Yeah.
All righty, on to our first little thing. Yeah, I seen this, and I knew this, from a long time ago. So the creators of Married with Children were huge wrestling fans. The Bundy's family was named after, of course, King Kong Bundy. And another side note to that, did you know that Bruiser Brody went by King Kong Brody in I believe it was the AWA. I might be wrong.
Bruiser as a respect to Dick the Bruiser. Yep.
But the Rhodes family was named after Dusty Rhodes, and Al's co-worker, Luke Ventura, speaking of the devil, was named after Jesse Ventura. King Kong Bundy himself appeared on the show twice, first in 1987 as Peggy's Uncle Irwin, then again in 1995 as himself, putting Bud through a wrestling match.
Yep.
That was a cool little anecdote.
But remember, they also had the original Glow Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Yes, they did.
Big Bad Mama, a lot of them.
Yep. I remember.
Which
I didn't know they were real wrestlers.
Yeah. Ivory was one of them.
Yeah. I was like, what? That I didn't know until here recently. But yeah, that's crazy. All righty, on to the next one. Yeah, this is our first kind of weird little, I don't know how I feel about this, but there was a lot of talk about it today on X about when they should change up the general managers. And I would love to be general manager at Raw at one point. So Liv's champion, women's world champion, and then after in-ring stuff, I would love at some point to be a general manager of Raw. And that was a Nikki Bella statement. What do y'all feel about somebody like Nikki Bella being a general manager?
I thought we were friends. Why are you posting me that crap? No. I think she just says stuff to garner attention. I can't take the Bella. I like Brie more than I like Nikki, and I can't stand either one of them. JD, yeah, that's. I knew a lot about that, about the Married with Children and the wrestling references.
Yep. But yeah, I feel the same way. Like I am not now. and I don't care that they're legends. I did not ever back in the day. There was nothing about the Bellas that ever stood out to me other than the fact that one dated John Cena and one married Daniel Bryan or Brian Danielson or whatever his name is. I don't know. The guy that
His real name.
I just know he's the
Everybody
guy
knows.
that Mr. Miyagi didn't train. But it just, I mean, there was just nothing that stood out to them about them with me. So, I mean, honestly and truthfully, I don't see what her being the general manager is going to help. I like the job Adam Pearce is doing. I don't think there's really a need for a change. So just leave it where it is. If it's not broke, don't fix it. What say you?
They're doing a great job.
I think this is a waste of time, honestly. I don't care what she says. I didn't pay attention when she was wrestling. I'm not going to pay attention if she's a general manager. No disrespect to her. I mean, I'm pretty sure she probably thinks she can do a great job. I'm just not interested in it, honestly.
To me, it's almost like, I'm going to push for something because I want to remain relevant because I know the end is coming up soon. I know this is my last run, so I need to try to do something to remain relevant, is what it feels like to me. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. All right.
That's what
okay. Yeah, Sean John was touching on this earlier. Ricky Saints debuted on SmackDown tonight. We got Ethan Page going to Raw. We've got Sol Ruka going to Raw, I believe it is. I'm sorry, I don't know who this other girl is. Who are these three girls right here?
That's JCJ, Fatal Attraction or something like that, or Fatal Fury.
And who's the other chick down here in the corner?
We got Joe Henry, and then that's Blake Monroe.
Blake Monroe. I didn't know her name.
Yeah.
All NXT people moving up, I see.
What do y'all think about these? And what do y'all think about the shows that they went to? Do you think that they should have is there anybody you think should have went to another show? And is there anybody you think that should have waited a little bit to get called up?
I don't think it really matters on the show, honestly. As far as me, I mean, they might have a plan with them that I don't know about. I think it was definitely time for him, especially Sol Ruka. I mean, I think she pretty much did all she could do in NXT. And Joe Henry, I mean, he's all right. Like I said, I'm not the hugest fan of him. I mean, I know everybody likes his gimmick and the whole concerts and all that, but I'm just not a huge fan. I do like Ethan Page and Ricky Saint. Like, I think they're entertaining. I'm okay with them moving up. Like I said, Fatal JC Jason and I can't think of the other two, but I think the group Fatal Fury or something like that. I'm okay with them. Like I said, a little new blood coming to the women's division. I don't have a problem with any of this. And Blake Monroe, I kind of liked her anyway. Like I said, in NXT, I thought it was kind of quick because she didn't seem like she was in NXT very long. I know she came from TNA or someplace because they scooped her up off from someplace else and then had her at NXT for a short bit and then moved her up to WWE, I think. So, yeah, I'm all right with all this.
So, Sean, before you give me your reaction, Miss Emily said, got my dad here and my cousin. And then what the fuck slam is to me anyway. She said, I don't know what slam is to me. Anyways, ain't a better pod at to watch. So she's yeah, he is your Uncle Slam. There you go. I'm your cousin. There's your dad, and you got your Uncle Slam right there. See, there you go.
Everybody's favorite uncle.
That's right. Everybody's favorite uncle. So see, it's a family affair, is what it is. But now, go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
Love you, Emily. You know what? Like I said, Fatal Influence are about the only ones I kind of wish they would keep it. But then again, JC Jane has been on NXT for a long time, and she was usually the bridesmaid because she was in the thing with Mandy Rose before she got fired. That's right, Mayhem.
You're his favorite, Uncle Slam.
Thank you.
Joe Hendry, it's more of a gimmick. He could go, and do you know he was the guy that was the not lawyer or whatever spokesman to when Rusev got that medal, that little medal he had.
Yeah.
That was Joe. Before he dyed his hair.
Yeah. He was the lawyer guy in the ring. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I remember them going back. So, let me ask you this about Joe Hendry. Do either one of you all see Joe Hendry being a world champion, or do you see him being just mid-card through and through? Or do you see him just competing for world title, kind of like a Finn Balor?
Feel he would do better in the chase than he would with the title.
Yeah.
As NXT champion, but I like it with the chase more than I do once they finally grab the title.
I'm the same way. I'm a bad guy needs to be the champion type guy so that the good guy can chase. But in saying that, this is kind of actually really funny. I don't know if you all knew this. Now that we're talking about this, I'm gonna bring it up real quick. I read an article earlier that was talking about how Ted DiBiase was the one that Vince McMahon wanted to win the WrestleMania tournament for the world title after Andre and Hogan debacle, the twin referees and everything. But Ted DiBiase said no, because in the weird way, this is better that I'm chasing Hogan. I'm chasing Savage because they're the big stars right now. They're what's on top. They need to have the belt. They're bringing the money in, but the illusion that I could always get over on them could be there. And like, I never thought about it that way, but he turned it down. He's like, no, we don't need to do that. Well, the way it's going is the way we need to be doing it. And I was like, that's kind of really cool on DiBiase's part, because he knew what was going on with the business. He knew what, how much money everybody was making because Hogan and Savage and, all that was going on top at the time and everything, even throwing in the Andre and him getting ready to retire. It just, to me, that was like one of the most unselfish acts I've ever heard in wrestling, because he could have easily just been like, yeah, I want it. It's that world title. Give it to me.
I believe so. I had heard of the different way, like they were going to put DiBiase, but Savage went and politic to get him the title. Like you said,
yeah,
wrestling's a lot of fish stories, fishing stories. Those are fish, so you're never going to know 100% what really happened. There might be truth in everything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Most of it is probably just piecing little bits of all of it together to figure out what is actually the truth. All right.
Yeah, but look at the tournament. They're putting everybody in it. They didn't.
But hold on a second. So let me answer this.
My bad.
Sorry. About Joe Henry, I feel like he's a mid-card at best. Like, I see him going for the Intercontinental, maybe U.S. title. Unless something changes and maybe he changes a little bit, then maybe a world title chase or something like that. But I just don't think it's believable right now and shit. Like in NXT, it was a little bit different just because, everybody's a little bit, fresh fish, or, they're still all young.
Yeah.
And it made sense when he was over there, but I can't see it right now. Like, unless something really changes. U.S. title at best, maybe Intercontinental, but I don't see no world championship.
I agree. And I hate to say that because I do like Joe Hendry, but I think he's kind of pigeonholed himself into that, kind of not goofy, but semi-goofy gimmick. You know what I'm saying? It's got that hint of comedy to it with the say his name, and then next thing you know, he's just popping out of nowhere,
Yeah.
All righty. Finn Balor said that he is happy that he is out of the Judgment Day because he doesn't have to come out to that music anymore. So let me ask y'all this. Y'all think they need to actually push him at least one time before because I don't see Finn sticking around too much longer or retiring soon. I don't want to say soon, but within 5-6 years, something like that, I could see him taking a lesser role.
I believe that he had his chance and he blew it. I'm sorry. I love him to death. He's a great wrestler, but I don't see him being world champion again anytime soon. He's like one of those that'll do good in the chase, but just won't win it because that match he had with Punk at Elimination Chamber, wow. Not a lot of people saw that happening.
I agree 100%, Uncle Slam.
I'd like to see him in the chase, but I don't think he's going to get another world. I don't think he's going to get a belt as far as like a world title or anything. I think his best shot was the whole CM Punk thing. I don't think it's honestly believable with anybody right now. I think if he goes someplace else, he won't have a problem at all. Like if he went to, if he left WWE and went to TNA or AEW, I think he'd be a world champ in fucking 6 months to less than a year. But around here, I don't know if it's politics or what, but I think he's just kind of old. I think they're trying to push newer. Well, I don't want to say. I was going to say newer stars, but a little bit with Jacob Fatu and the whole Braun Breaker, but I just don't see it. I mean, I would like to see him, maybe go for the chase, but I don't see it anytime soon. I don't think he will.
I don't want to see. I like Finn Balor a lot.
Yeah,
I really like him a whole lot. And I was really hopeful for him 10 years ago when he won that first Universal Championship. And he, when he popped that shoulder, unfortunate accident because it robbed him of having that first run, and seeing what could have happened.
Yeah.
Now, honestly and truthfully, I do think there's a way to still honor him with a world title run, but not the WWE. Let him beat Dominic for the AAA Mega Championship. That's a world title.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's
let
believable.
him have a good run with that.
I didn't think of that.
That would be a good idea.
It's a built-in rivalry already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then even at that, he could, in a year, he could drop it back. He could win it, battle Dominic Mysterio's version of Judgment Day, and then in a year, he could drop it back at WrestleMania to Dominic in a great WrestleMania match. And then you just slowly wind him down using him as a contender, a chaser. Maybe an Intercontinental win here and there, a tag team win to keep him,
I can see, Intercontinental tag team, I'm fine with that.
I think that's the best way to use Finn Balor at this point in his career, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Uncle Slam, Johnny Lee said that, let's see, how do he say that? He said, Uncle Slam's looking slick. Max Steele, we appreciate you watching. Thank you, sir.
What's up, buddy?
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. Everybody, don't forget, send this out to share it. Tell everybody to like, share, follow, subscribe, and everything. Don't forget to go over to the Mr. Wrestling Encyclopedia himself's pages and social medias. Follow him. Go support him whenever he's doing his thing in the ring. All righty. WWE aired Wyatt's 6 video package during SmackDown commercial break despite their release.
I think that's just sleep at the wheel. That may not have
get the memo.
Yeah, somebody didn't get the memo. Whoops.
I'm thinking there's a lot of sleeping at the wheel in WWE right now. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Sean John.
Did y'all see the video of Dexter Loomis cutting his hair with Andy Hartwell?
No, I didn't. Where do you think he'll end up? Because I think Dexter's a good wrestler.
TNA. He'll go back there.
You think so? You don't think he'll go to AEW?
I don't think so, because he was there with Indy Hartwell. She's in TNA. He filmed that video, this Instagram or X or whatever. I forget which one it is, but he was on Insta.
Okay.
So
yeah, I could see that. I mean, especially, if he's got roots there and stuff and everything, seems more likely.
Yeah.
All right. What do y'all think about this? Oh, Roman Reigns, WWE World Heavyweight Champion, gave us a on-foot look at the upcoming Air Jordan 12 Bloodline. Currently expected May 23rd for $215 retail. What do you think about wrestlers having their own shoe deals? I mean, because I'm okay with it, man. If Nike gonna pay me, I'm gonna
Yeah,
take
exactly. I mean, them shoe checks are pretty good from what I hear. Them basketball players,
I'll take a Puma. I will take a Puma shoe check. I will. You give me. I don't. And one, you want to cut me a check for 100,000? I will wear your
Under
shoes every
Armour.
day.
Yes, we're looking for sponsors. What is that? Chinese shoe company? Hey, I'll take their money too.
Well, whatever the hottest Walmart brand is this week, you send them this way. Cut me $100 check. I will walk them things till the soul comes off in a week.
Long kit players, I'll wear whatever. I don't care.
That's exactly it. I was just like, I think it's dumb that we're, that's even a big storyline, to be honest with you.
Is he I think it's cool.
He is. I think he's the only one in the first, which I think is cool. He's setting standards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He is. I don't want to say because he's not as great as far as what Michael Jordan did to the league. I don't think Roman Reigns did that to wrestling. But I think that he definitely, as much as I criticize Roman carried wrestling in a time when wrestling was down and nobody thought that he could do it. Thank you for being here, Austin Diamond. We appreciate you, buddy. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. Him and his daddy, Scott. Love y'all. But yeah, I mean, nobody thought he was going to be anything. And then he, through hard work, I'm not saying he delivers, the greatest promos in the world now, but he's not delivering, again, like I said, he's not delivering the story of Jack and the Beanstalk as a promo anymore. Yeah. He did, again, I thought it was over. His career was over when he did that to the Big Show. And I'm the first to admit, yes. I mean, he literally stood there for 5 minutes and told me the story of Jack and the fucking Beanstalk. And I listened. That's the thing.
It was like, come on. Eating out of the palm.
Yes. But getting Paul around him and learning how to talk and everything, I think has really helped him. So I have to give Roman his credit for carrying wrestling at least for a 3-4 year span, because before the sale and right after the sale, and we're going to cover this here in a minute because it talks about it here. I got another graphic for it here in a second, but he carried it and he made it cool again. And then other people stepped in and it was like, okay, you're screwing it up. But for that brief moment, man, he was giving us something that we hadn't had in a while. Yeah. And it was good. And
I think he came in at the right time. It was kind of like timing. It was like he was there at the right time in the right place. And it kind of just worked out for him. I think if he had been in any other time, or a little bit earlier or a little later, he wouldn't have been as great. But because of timing and putting Paul Heyman around him, is what definitely helped him a lot.
Oh, I agree 100%. MLI said, "Someone get me some Danhausen shoes and take my money."
Right?
All you got to do is go to a Svengoolie store, man. I'm sure you can find them. But speaking of Danhausen, pow! I feel that Danhausen is great in small doses, and Friday night shows was not small doses. I think if you put a lot of him on the show, it becomes a turnoff. To be honest, most people that would be the case, but Danhausen, it's kind of like one note gimmick, and it was just so much on this show. When the show was halfway over, I was like, they're going to burn this guy out. That type of a gimmick is going to have a shelf life anyway, and the key is to extend it as long as possible. The more you put him on, the more time you give him on specific shows over and over, it speeds up that process. Let me get this out of the way so I can tell you who that was. That was Dave Meltzer. Of course, you got to take everything Dave says, with a grain of salt, because he's not exactly the best source.
Take it with a tequila.
Right, take it with a gallon of that if you're listening to Dave. But
but no, I mean, I see Dave Meltzer's point. Less is more type deal. Danhausen has had that gimmick. He got over in Ring of Honor. It got over AEW when they used it. WWE, with their vast marketing expertise, if you will, they'll get that go over for years to come.
If they'll do it right. If they'll do it. That's the problem, though.
If they'll do it. You are correct, sir. And if Danhausen, the man himself, can stay healthy and doesn't get mentally and physically burned out, he could keep that gimmick going for years, because it's currently right now he's one of their top sellers, like top 2 or 3 sellers on WWEshop.com.
I have not seen the man. I have not seen the man wrestle. I've not seen one match, and I'm not saying anything bad, because I get it. I get what his gimmick is, because my mom, she watches like what is it, Sci-Fi Saturday Night. She loves that Svengoolie stuff and everything, and that's what he is, so I get the gimmick. I understand what it is. It's not necessarily my thing, but man, if you market that right into the right group of people who like that Svengoolie stuff, dude, like you said, he's selling. Market it right, and he'll continue to sell. He'll continue,
He did have a match here a while back against Kit Wilson on SmackDown.
Oh, I don't doubt
he's had matches and stuff. Like
I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen one match, and I don't know if it's just because I haven't looked hard enough, or but I don't get to watch a whole lot of SmackDown anyway. Raw,
yeah, he's been more on SmackDown lately. He did have a match somewhere on the Independents, I forget where, but where he was doing the Pee Wee Herman dance from Pee Wee's Big Adventure. If you've all seen that movie,
that is awesome.
Yeah, he was doing that, doing the whole thing, doing the kicks.
Y'all don't want me to stand up and do it, because I will.
No.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
I'll play the music. Let's get the music going. Come on, tequila. No,
this is a family show,
right? Till it ain't. That's the unscripted part. All righty. So JBL lobbies for AAA general manager job. The whole country of Mexico loves me and needs me. Is what he said. I think JBL is so full of shit, but I love JBL at the same time. But what do you think? I mean, because didn't the Undertaker step down?
No, I think he's still the head guy, the guy behind the scenes in AAA, which I didn't know that till here recently.
Yeah, him and Conan.
I thought Conan was running it by itself, honestly.
No. Undertaker and Conan, but Conan has been in the hospital. He is, he's had like kidney issues or something to that effect.
Yeah.
No,
I think it was one of his legs got amputated or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know what? As much of a swarmy heel that JBL is, if you listen to him on Bruce Pritchard's podcast, There's Something to Wrestle with John Layfield, he's a very charming and funny guy, and you actually hear what he goes through. So, because we've all heard the stories about how he's a backstage bully and maybe not so much a politician, but he was just like, look, I'm making sure you're cut out for the life on the road. So,
okay, so I just looked it up, and I thought I seen a report that was saying maybe he's getting ready to step down. I know I seen something about it. I'm gonna have to research it more and everything, but this is saying that he is still helping with creative. It says no, the Undertaker does not own or officially run Lucha Libre AAA worldwide. As of 2025, okay, we know they grabbed them. What is happening is the Undertaker has reportedly taken on a major behind the scenes creative role with AAA under the WWE umbrella. Multiple reports in 2026 say he is helping with just the booking and creative direction, trying to modernize the product while still keeping the Lucha Libre identity intact. Okay, so he's not like GM or anything like that.
Like
or
a
he's
consultant or something like that. Is like
probably
just
like
work-
a head of creative type thing or something like that. I'd say.
like how Shawn Michaels is head of creative down in NXT.
Yeah,
Undertaker's head of creative in Annex in AAA. I think him and Jeremy Borash. That's an unsung hero in the history of wrestling because he was in WCW, TNA, and now here in
That's
WWE.
where I remember hearing his name a whole lot more was TNA.
Yeah.
Borash.
Yep.
Because whenever I would catch it, whenever back when Angle and all them were there. He's just a sexy Kurt. Sexy Kurt. Make your ankle.
Now I'm going to be singing that song all night when I'm trying to sleep tonight.
If you want to ever have Uncle Slam just dying laughing, all you got to do is stand up and throw your leg up on the side like Angle did and smack your hip a couple of times and say, I'll make them all tap out.
I feel like watching that video too, man, because it's so funny. Because oh god,
it was just great, man. It was, I don't know. All righty, moving along so we can get this show going a little more. Okay, so y'all seen the big deal between Ludwig Kaiser and Ric Flair about a week ago. So now Ric Flair is going back and saying, Mr. Ludwig Kaiser, I never implied you couldn't work or didn't have talent. I actually understand that you are doing really well with the Undertaker's promotion. I am sorry that I got upset, and I am naturally very protective of my daughters, as I am sure as you grow older, you will be too. Continued success. I apologize for anything I said about you personally. It was not about your professional skill, which I have heard is very good. Is that a dig? I've heard it's very good. I've never taken the time to watch.
Compliment.
Yes. And another thing, well, I want to ask you a question too, Sean, since you weren't here last week, because I asked Uncle Slam. Do you kind of wish that Rick would just
shut up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but he's really going too far now, with things. And it's
he also, I'm not.
It's almost sad.
It is. I watched his last match, the actual last match, the one he had in 2022. I watched it. They did great sending him out, but I heard he passed out twice during the match.
They said he had a heart attack.
Yeah, are we just watching this guy die live on air?
Right.
Are we talking about the Shawn Michael match or whatever?
No. Okay. He had a match with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, and who else was in that? Him.
His was Andrade at the time, Charlotte's husband.
Yeah. Andrade. Yeah. And dude, he was they thought he was over on the mat asleep,
Shut
but
up.
he was like supposedly having a
Nah.
heart attack.
God damn.
Yeah, but we all thought he just passed
Oh,
out because
fuck.
Taker gets to the back and just hands him 2 bottles of Gatorade and said, "You thirsty?"
And it's just like, man, it's time to slow it
Yeah,
up.
it's definitely. Come on, Rick. You ain't got to do all that shit, bro. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
All righty. From Rick to Nick. Nick Hogan says he would absolutely welcome a wrestling career if the opportunity arose. Do you see Nick Hogan wrestling? And if you do you think he would be a success?
he could. I don't know, but you couldn't be in your father's shadow because there'll never be another Hulk. It's like being Michael
That was-
Jordan's son. Like you'll never live up to that legacy. So if he could somehow be either be himself or be something else, just don't be Hulk Hogan's son. You'll be fine.
He's got some big boots to fill. And
Literally.
they're boots that are not going to get filled.
No.
I'm not the biggest Hulk Hogan fan by any means. He kind of tarnished his own legacy, but I haven't seen the last episode of the thing. Kind of getting into it.
It's wonderful.
I'll take your word for it. But I kind of lost respect when the whole tape, not the sex tape part, that's whatever. But the part where he was just, when he was thinking, I get your depression, but there's times you got to be held accountable. And he kind of didn't hold himself accountable from what I saw, but I'll watch the rest of the things.
That's the thing about Hulk is Hulk has apologized for everything, but they've always been kind of half-hearted apologies.
Yeah, because it's like, well, just want to make sure you're not being recorded. No, then you're not really sorry. You're just sorry that you got caught.
That's it. And that's the thing is like me and Uncle Slam have talked about, and I'm sure he can touch on too real quick, is we try to separate Hulk Hogan from Terry Bollea.
Yeah.
When he was in the ring, he wasn't Terry. He was Hulk Hogan, the red, white, and blue hero that was going to save the day.
Yeah.
When he was outside of the ring, it sucks. Like Uncle Slam says, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. He's tarnished his own legacy. I still haven't forgiven him for going on Arsenio Online 91.
Right. I remember that too. Because I used to watch Arsenio every night.
That was went on there and said, yeah, I took steroids, but at the time they were legal. When they stopped, when they became illegal, I stopped.
I could have respected that.
Yeah, he could have said, I used to, but they became illegal, so I stopped.
Yep. But you lied to me. So how can I believe the prayers, training, and vitamins and all that stuff now? You killed it became, I think at that moment it stopped being Hulkamania, the movement, and turned into Hulkamania nostalgia.
Yeah. Because when he came in 2002, the end, the next night on Raw, he comes out there before he challenges The Rock, or The Rock challenged him to the match at Mania. That segment, was fired. There was more 60-40 towards Hulk than it was to Rock.
Yep.
That was tremendous, but then it just,
yeah. We could go on forever about Hulk, man. Hulk, so. I know it. Just veer off and do a half Hulk Hogan episode.
I'm surprised we haven't already.
Right?
Have we?
Yeah. Remember we did when he passed away. We did a memorial episode
a tribute.
because we got on there and we told the truth about it. Go back and look at it, everybody. Seriously, we did a little tribute episode to Hulk Hogan, but we also told the truth about Hulk. All right, so these next few I've got kind of go in together. So I'm guessing everybody has seen the new deals that the CW and NXT have. Well, now come this fall, you're going to be able to watch NXT second day after on Roku. Which is
Yes.
kind of cool. You know, I like that that's the thing. Why ain't these other companies really pursuing that? But I am glad to see that also NWA is now on Comet too. And I don't know if their Roku deal is going to end because of that, but if it doesn't, they will be on Roku as well. Because that's how I watch them right now. And go watch them, man. I love the Kazanas. Go watch them. Country Gentlemen. All right. The CW Network.
If Emily is still watching, the Kazanas are overrated. There, I said it.
Oh, she'll be on here in a second. Yeah, we'll find out here in a minute. She's probably one of the 5.
Do it just a minute.
So CW acquired the exclusive broadcast rights of WWE NXT premium live events on a multi-year deal. So I'm guessing you're going to have to pay something on CW for that.
On CWA. CW, I think they're free.
Well, the CW app is free, but are they going to start charging in some way, shape, or form, $3 or $4? You see what I'm saying?
I'm poking you in the eye.
Me in the eye?
Yeah, I'm going to poke you in the eye if that happens.
Well, I'll make sure I will always wear my big glasses when I'm around you.
I thought it said that the CW Sports was going to like ESPN.
Is it
like,
for
is
real?
that what that thing said before?
CW Network acquires exclusive.
So they're going to be on like your local CW affiliate TV, and you could watch them there. I better not charge us. I will cry.
Yeah, because I got the app. WWE weekly shows expected to stream on ESPN Unlimited under the new CW deal. So the weekly shows are going to be on ESPN Unlimited.
Okay,
so pay-per-view. I mean, but the PLEs are going to be on CW.
Yes,
that's almost like backwards. What?
Tell me about it, man.
Huh?
Hold on, let's see what this says. Today, the CW and WWE announced all WWE NXT premium live events will now air exclusively on the CW, starting with NXT Great American Bash this summer. And that was from X.com.
But the weekly show is going to be on ESPN. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
They're trying to make it look like they're not charging us out the rear end. Here, we'll give you our lesser show pay-per-view for free, and then we'll make you happy so you'll buy the $30 the $30 app.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to want to know what the lead up to this pay-per-view was. And then you're also going to want to watch that WrestleMania, that SummerSlam, that, SmackDown, that Raw. Dude, it's a marketing play.
Yeah.
Give them something to make them think they're getting something.
Bring back the network. It's all I'll say.
There you go.
Better yet, anybody that has the money, go buy the WWE from TKO. Please get it away from them. I don't care about NXT. I don't really watch NXT as much. I would hate to see it go because they've developed a lot of good talent. I like, Ethan Page and stuff and everything. But at the end of the day, Raw and SmackDown have got to get away. They got to lessen their roster. They got to get back to the old school, not complete old school. You know what I'm saying? But they've got to get back to basics. And that's just my opinion.
Oh, I see basic. Yeah.
All righty. So here's what I was going to talk about. The Bloodline gets a new name. They're calling them, what is it? The Family. I can't remember what it was. Now I just went blank. Does it say it down there at the bottom? No, it doesn't. I cannot remember what it was called. The First Family is what it was. I'm just like, I get it. And because of that, I'm going to touch on that, what we were going to touch on earlier about Roman. And it says everyone blaming the WWE and TKO for bringing the bloodline back. But let's be real for a second. Roman Reigns carried this company for 4 years straight. According to Business Global Attention, even the Netflix deal era buzz, Roman was at the center of it all. And what happened when he lost the title? Everything dipped. The energy, the interest, the consistency, gone. So instead of pointing fingers at WWE or TKO, maybe look at your favorites. Where was the same energy? Where was the support when things got shaky? Because the truth is, you didn't ride for them the way that they rode for Roman. That's why he is the face of the company. Through great, bad, and everything in between, we stayed locked in. Now, I am not going to absolve TKO that easily, and I'm not going to absolve WWE that easily, because we're going to get into that here in just a second and everything, before we wrap up this show and everything. But how do I say this? TKO has been sucking us dry through everything
100%.
they can, through money wise. But at the
That's
same
hard to say.
time, right? But at the same time, did we invest as much as we really could? Well, and not only did we invest, but did they give us the up and coming stars that we wanted, not the up and coming stars that they wanted? You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I don't care about Austin Theory. He was a joke for 7 years, and then now I'm supposed to take him serious. I mean, no offense to the man,
Yeah.
but you cannot make somebody a clown and then turn around and that's like, and no offense, it's like taking Eugene and making him Eugene, and now all of a sudden he comes out 10 years later as Super Eugene, and he just starts beating everybody. No, it
Yeah.
can't work. You made him a clown. So you got to let him just be that. You got to bring up new people. And I'm not sold on Braun Breaker. I like him, but I'm not sold on him being a world champion carrier of the company. So what do you all think about like them going back to this? And is it a little bit of what we were talking about earlier? He kind of carried the company.
He really did, as much as we may not like him. I always make this joke when it comes to Roman. I acknowledge him as a pimple on my ass. But no, in all seriousness, he is, especially during the pandemic era, it was him. He when he was on SmackDown and everything, he kept this show running good. He kind of overdid it where it was just like, okay, is he going to wrestle this week? Is he going to do this, that, and the other? But he did all right. Now that storyline with him and Sammy, we were all invested in it. We knew it was going to happen, that he was either they were going to turn on Sammy or he was going to turn on Sammy.
Yeah.
Or Sammy was going to turn on him, and that's exactly what happened. That was also thought thing. Roman, don't turn your back on anybody. Because remember what happened with Seth? He turned his back and got walloped in the chair with him when the Shield broke up.
Well, and not only that, but Cody fell in their lap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then because Cody fell in their lap, they had the finishes storyline. So then after that, once Cody had it, it was the chase, like you were talking about earlier, the chase with Cody and against Roman that made it great too.
I think that was more the fans, though, kind of pushing that. You know what I'm saying? The fans were the ones that were like, we want to see him finish the story. We want to finish, Cody's story. And then I think WWE really didn't have a choice. They had to listen to what the fans wanted and shit at that point.
Yeah, I could see that.
I agree. I don't know. I think that, there's so much going on with the WWE. Like we say, because there's so much going on with the WWE, get up out your seats on Friday and Saturday night, some Sundays in some places, and go watch some independent wrestling. Because then you'll see people like the Wrestling Encyclopedia, Mr. Sean John. You will see me and Uncle Slam working our table and working our mouths and everything, because we're going to be talking about the ring, what's going on in the ring. So, I mean, it's just a good time for everybody. And like we repeat every week, because it's worth repeating, that it's just a great time for you, your family. It's inexpensive, especially nowadays whenever you put $2 of gas in your car and can't pull out of the driveway. But
$2 ain't even gas money nowadays. What are you talking about? You can't even get half
no,
a
that's
tank
what
for
I said. You
$2.
can't put $2 in and just pull out of the driveway. You done spend it by the time you started the car. Yeah, it's pitiful.
Yep.
But yes, independent wrestling is where you're going to see. You're going to let's just put
Get
it to you
more
like
value
this.
for your dollar, and then you can leave. You can take the whole family, leave, and have money left to go out to eat, and probably still have some change. When you get home, it ain't gonna
Yes.
break the bank.
And you're going to see good down to earth wrestlers, good down to earth, just not and that's the thing. It's not just the wrestlers, the announcers, between ring announcers, commentary, everybody involved in the show. It's so much more personal. It's
Oh yeah.
it's wonderful. You yell at Mr. Sean John, like he said, boo him or cheer him. If you are jeering him and throwing insults out at him, he's going to kind of give you that, okay, he's going to, it's what he's got to do. You know what I'm saying? But he did that to you. You're not going to get that necessarily if you go to the WWE unless you're on the first row, and then you may not even get it then.
Exactly.
In the WWE, they've got that 500-yard whatever entrance. They've got time to stop and say one fan, two fans on the way to the ring.
Yeah,
at most.
Yes. These wrestlers in independence and everything, and like Sean, well, I'm sure when he comes out to the ring and everything, he says hi to a few more people than just one or two because he has the time, because they want you to do that. Those fans are the ones that are the reason you're there. You know what I'm saying? It's wonderful. Go out to these independent shows, guys. I cannot stress that enough to you all. Sean, you got anything else you want to tell these people?
Everybody, I want to thank y'all in the comments. Everything. J-Mac, Unky Slam. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. Everybody else, you can catch me on Facebook. I'm Sean Johns, SeanJahns. I post about a lot of stuff.
He said you're coming on an episode of AEW and talk AEW.
What's there to talk about? I ain't watched AEW in for first thing. He's a
talk about.
Nah, I love you. Slam is my favorite uncle. He's everybody's favorite uncle.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
right.
But come on out. July 5th is the next Kentucky Wrestling Federation show. I'll be one of the ring announcers, preferably the only one, but unfortunately, we may do me and Nina Darling. She's helping me get my footing, so she's always giving me great advice. Come out to EWA. There are 2 shows for Elite Wrestling Alliance. First one is next Saturday in Danville, Kentucky. The Jenny Rogers Center. Come on out. See us. Tickets, I think, are like $15 for front row. Everything else is a little bit lower. 12 for general admission, whatever. Cheap. You can get to meet us. Come on out. Meet me. I don't charge for high fives and hugs. I probably should. No.
And that's this one is Ignition, correct?
You might be right.
I think this one is Ignition, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is their first show after the brand split.
Okay.
Yes.
So this will be the first show from the brand split, and the next show will be Pulse. I don't have that right in front of me, but that'll be in Richmond here in a week or two, if I'm not mistaken.
It's on the 16th.
16th. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was
later.
talking over him, and I should have just shut up and let him tell you.
Yeah, well, this is y'all show, but I'm just
we appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, but I'm an open book. I don't hide nothing. I'm not pretending to be anybody I'm not. I'm just me.
That's it.
You know, I just feel naked without shades on tonight. So maybe next time I'm on, I'll be sure to grab my shades.
Well, I was going to ask, we're getting ready to take about a 10-minute break. Do you want to come back and talk some Undertaker, or do you need to go? We're going to do a profile show on the Undertaker. And if you want to join, we're going to join.
I have something to do tomorrow morning. So I got to get off here, get a shower, and get to bed, guys.
Sounds good, man. We appreciate you being
coming on
here,
though.
man. And just remember, you have a welcome to come back on anytime. We are doing a series on as a matter of fact, well, I will show it to you the next time I talk. I'll get a picture of it and send it to you and everything. But we are doing a series on the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. We started out with eight competitors from each company. And we're breaking it down from the 8 in that company to single out that company's greatest, and then marching it on down to the greatest world champion of all time. So, yeah, if you want to jump in on a few episodes, man, let us know. We're doing them like on Fridays and Saturday nights, man, and everything. So,
sounds like a plan.
Yeah, Ace Carmichael, he's going to try to join us and everything for one or two of them and everything. So, yeah.
That's awesome,
man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll keep you posted on that, but everybody else, y'all have fun. Love, peace, chicken grease to everybody, guys. I'm out. Y'all take care. Bye.
Okay.
Bye now, guys.
You take it easy, buddy. Right. Uncle Slam, you got anything else for him?
No, sir.
Well, guys, I believe referee, no, sir. You mean you ain't tapping?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm over here slipping, man. I guess it's been one of them weeks.
He said, I ain't tapping out this week, buddy.
I guess I really am tapped out, man. I forgot to say my little catchphrase here. Whew.
Well, if he's tapped out, Undertaker's ringing that bell, and we will see you soon. Let's ring that bell.